and welcome to the Engerati studio. We're live at European Utility Week. I'm Rose and I'm joined now by Francisco Puente, Project Lead, EC Project USmartConsumer. Thank you for joining us, Francisco.
Thank you.
I know this time last year you were in the chair with Engerati with my colleague Adam. What has changed in the past year from the USmartConsumer perspective?
Well, I must say there's a lot of change happening in smart metering all around Europe because our project is concerning all the European smart metering and consumer services based on the smart meter information. And the change is wide. On one side, you can say there are many more smart meters installed, particularly in some European countries. I would say Italy and Spain are leading this number in number of smart meters. I think together we can add approximately 50 million smart meters. And secondly, the services are starting to be provided to the consumers. This is different that the consumers are using them so much. That's something we can talk maybe in a minute.
Yeah. So tomorrow you release your latest reports on European smart meters. Can you briefly or give us a little bit of insight into what we're going to see in that report?
Okay, we issued the Landscape Report 2016, so we did it in coincidence with the European Utility Week because we thought this is a landmark event for utilities. And in this report we will see exactly where is the position of each European country regarding smart metering, and also if they are providing already services to consumers based on the smart meter data, which doesn't mean a list of data to the consumer, but more displays, websites, applications, so that each segment of consumer can use this information to get some benefit or to get some feedback and react, like saving energy or things like this.
Does it make for positive reading?
Yes, the progress is good, let's say, but at the same time, each European country is totally different. We have countries much regulated, other countries are more in the market level, and also the position of the different companies, like distribution companies or retailers or regulator, they have a different position in each country. So each country has its own, let's say, life in smart metering. We talk about sometimes about smart metering like a general issue, but it's very, I would say, it's very one by one country, detailed, different, totally different.
Okay, in the approach and the regulation that from the utility perspective, is there any commonality in terms of how consumers are responding to smart meters?
I would say no. In each country they have different, because for example in the UK, the role of installing the smart meter is from the retailer. And they are, it's mandatory to install displays in this, with the smart meter. So they have very specific situation. For example, in Spain, at the moment, the most, I would say, services are provided by the distribution company. They are providing information to the consumer on the website. And we are not so eager to use displays, but more information in the website or applications. And let's say the need of this is also regulated. So there's a regulation to provide hourly data to consumers. And it's given by the distribution companies in this kind of platforms. So Italy, for example, has got many smart meters, but on the other side, there are not so many services for consumers. So they have a full rollout, but the consumers are not the focus, or were not the focus so much. Now this is changing a lot.
Okay.
So there are many different situations.
So the benefits are weighted more to the utility in that particular example.
I think the traditional position of the utility was, okay, in some way we have a mandate to install smart meters sometime, or smart metering, better than smart meters, smart metering sometime, to have a certain control of the network and certain better management of the distribution network. But this is, let's say, 5 years ago, and now it's changing to, okay, we need to focus on the consumer, and in some way they are our customers at the end, and we need to provide things to them as well.
Can we just think a bit about the report itself? What's your research methodology to pull together all this information?
Okay, if you think we need the information from each European country, we really need a network of experts which are focused on each country. So we are a group of 10 organizations. Each organization selects a certain number of countries, so 3-4 countries per organization. For example, we have a Finnish organization for the Nordic countries, or Spain for Spain, Portugal, Italy. So we have people who know the country needs and the country perspective and policies. So he can first do a good research with the key actors, like utilities, with the regulators of the country, also searching the market, what's happening, maybe with the manufacturers of smart meters like Landis or Zig or some others, and collect all this information. And then, let's say, we integrate it in the report, but we also provide some ranking to the countries.
Yeah.
So it's not only that we do a static report, but in some way we try to evaluate which is the progress. So the main output of the report, or one of the main outputs, is the map of Europe. And we have a map with spots for each country. And each country is, there's an axis of regulation, another axis of market, and you have a spot where the country is. So you see if it's advanced, if it's a laggard, or if it's a pioneer, or which is the position of the country.
So are you able to tell us who's in the top 5 in terms of development of their rollout?
The top 5 countries? Yeah. Yes, we can see, for example, Finland is one of the top countries. I would say now Spain is reaching also these countries at the top. Sweden has a tradition of smart metering. Let's say Malta as well. And then there are other countries which are almost there because they have less number of smart meters or less number of services, like for example Italy. So these countries are more at the head of the rollouts and services to consumers.
Okay, and the UK, where are they ranking at the moment?
UK at the moment they haven't got so many smart meters installed yet. They have, I would say, some million, 1-2 million, but well, their number probably is 20, 25 times more. So now they are, let's say, speeding up.
Yeah.
But still, they are installing the smart meters. They're doing the rollout of smart meters.
At that stage.
Yeah.
Obviously, from that trend, you know, the reports, what kind of future trends are you able to extrapolate?
Okay, I think the future trend will be related clearly to the customer. So now, I think the regulation will move from regulating smart metering itself as, let's say, the traditional way of the distributor company using smart meters to control the grid and so on, to regulate, to be able to use the information by the consumer. So provide services providers this information, so new actors in the market. It could be even actors like Google or other actors that want to use the information from the smart meter or from the people to provide new services, and in some way provide the benefit of the smart metering to the consumer. So this is probably one of the trends. I think this will be one direction. And of course, still we need to finalize the rollouts, because we have, let's say, large rollouts in some countries, but at the end we have now like 80 million smart meters from the 300 million in Europe, more or less. So we are still in a 30% approximately of rollout of smart metering, so still there is a need of further rollouts. This means that the meter, which was installed 10 years ago, maybe by Enel, maybe in 5 years they will have to change. So we have a second smart meter installed probably in this year, probably.
Yeah, and has that technology changed significantly?
There's no price and the cost.
Yeah.
The cost is going down per unit of smart metering. The companies which installed smart meters a few years ago, they had to pay 70, 80 euros per unit, and now has gone down to 40, 30. So the cost benefit also is interesting.
Is the use case for smart meters becoming clearer to utilities now?
Yeah,
beyond just recording and billing and...
Yeah, this question is quite difficult to answer, because we have seen countries that have gone steps ahead and then they have gone a bit back, again ahead. So, like for example, one case could be Germany. They were like starting to install smart meters 1-2 years ago. They started to prepare the regulation, but the regulation says, okay, we will start but slowly, because the business cases and the situation is not profitable for everyone, only for larger consumers. So this is one example. It's a large country like Germany. Also the Netherlands, for example, is a good example, because they have to stop the rollout, and it went to the Senate of the Netherlands, and they had to change the law to keep installing smart metering because of the consumer position. So it's progressing in different ways, and each country really has got its own way.
I mean, people talk about smart meter not as a final technology, but as an enabler to open up lots more opportunities, just as I suppose a smartphone, did for many, many applications.
Yes.
What kind of applications could you envisage in the future?
Well, I think one of the applications will be related to in-home displays. I think they are already there, but still there is a lot of potential to more different kind of displays. I think there is a need of probably further research on how the consumer finds them, also how they find it to use them. because sometimes we put something to the consumer and the consumer doesn't understand anything. And this is a point we need to further analyze, depending on the consumer or the segment of consumer, what we should put in their displays. On the other side, we have all these applications for smartphones, for tablets, and so on. And there is a lot of potential. I mean, I think the utilities know there is a lot of potential there, and we don't know who exactly will develop this. Could be the utility, could be Google, could be, in principle, anyone. Even the producers of smart metering, could be anyone. So depending also on the regulation. So regulation is
just to touch on data briefly in terms of the way, you know, the interval and the way it's being collected and stored. I mean, is that varying massively between European Union member states?
Okay, I would say there are two main ways to collect information. One is individually by each utility. That would be, for example, in principle, the case of Spain. Even we were duplicating this, but this was the case in Spain. And the other one is a big hub with information from all the consumers. In one country, for example, like Nordic countries usually use these hubs. Also, another important thing is the conduct of the information, so the amount of information and how you transmit this. For example, in-home displays can be connected directly to the smart meter, so in principle there's no big problem of communication. But in Spain, we have 28 million customers of electricity. If you want to conduct all this information for real-time information to a system, like to a database, it will be almost not needed and impossible probably. So these are the differences probably, how you manage the information, the data, but also which is the use and which are the needs of these systems to use it. And there's a lot of things to do there.
Okay, well, we're going to look forward to seeing that report tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today, Francisco.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of the interviews that we're doing here at European Utility Week on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.